Very, very excited to have Netflix here. And yes. So what do you guys think? You guys happy that Stranger Things is coming to Hall H?
Hello, Hall H. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for coming out here to the Stranger Things panel. I'm going to be your host, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. This show rules. You know that it rules. And I was very, very happy to get to be asked to do this because this show, for me and for I'm sure a lot of you, is basically my adolescence in the 80s. Let's bring in the creators of this pop culture juggernaut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Duffer Brothers. Good to see you, man. Have a seat. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. And also, the executive producer and director, Sean Levy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Levy. What was the grain of the idea? How did this concept come to be? Did you kind of mash up your adolescence, or what
Yeah, no, like we're like obviously big movie nerds, have always been. That's what we wanted to do. And we started to get into television as it became more and more cinematic.
Yes.
Shorter seasons, they started to feel like big movies. And so we're like...
I remember it was like True Detective, Cary Fukunaga doing that, and Steven Soderbergh's The Knick, and we just started going, I'm as excited or more excited by this stuff I'm seeing on television, if you even want to call it that.
And so it was like, what would be the ultimate long movie? And it would be Spielberg directing a big, fat Stephen King book. And so
John Carpenter doing this.
John Carpenter scoring
With John
it,
Carpenter
yeah.
music, yeah.
Right. So that was the dream, and that was sort of the ambition.
Sean, how did you get involved? What made you go, oh, I
Well,
gotta do this?
my executive, Dan Cohen, he comes to me one day and he says, you need to stop what you're doing. I've read the script by these two twin brothers that no one's ever heard of, and it might be the best thing I've ever read. And I read it, and it was. And I didn't know kind of how it was going to work. And again, we didn't know if anyone was going to let us make it, and we definitely didn't know if anyone was going to watch it. Mm-hmm. But I knew that this combination of an 80s backdrop, genre, and character authenticity was going to be something special. And I told the brothers, you know what, whatever you need, that's what I'm going to do, and let's get this into the world.
Of course, the girl next door with the tough side, Nancy Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalia Dyer. And then, we of course have the Hawkins heartthrob. Please do not rush the stage as Steve Harrington, Joe Keery, ladies and gentlemen. Next, please welcome the best police chief in Hawkins, Indiana. Woo! Yeah. David K. Harbour. Bringing back the, yes. Hellboy's got a dad bod. Okay. Wow. And now, Matthew Modine, ladies and gentlemen. He was out selling ecstasy all day. Now he's here. That's right. Sit down, Matthew. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man? Wow. Should you be more, you're going to turn into a skateboard. Like, just try to unmellow yourself. My God. There is not a kid in the world who can handle a slingshot better than this guy. Please welcome the ultimate bandana-wearing badass, Lucas Sinclair, Caleb McLaughlin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and next, we have the kid with the biggest heart, the dopest hat, and the most beautiful smile, Dustin Henderson, Gaten Matarazzo. And now, the only boy who has escaped the upside down, Will Byers, Noah Schnapp, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, the ringleader of the pack and everyone's favorite best friend, it's Mike Wheeler, Finn Wolfhard, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Finn Wolfhard. And lastly, in a world of 10s, B and 11, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the girl who can flip vans with her mind, Millie Bobby Brown.
I think this, compared to last season, Will definitely shows more bravery. And then you'll definitely learn how the Upside Down affected Will, and you'll get more into his storyline. But there's not much I can say, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Caleb, did you have to do slingshot training? Did they? Whoa, okay.
No joking.
Sorry.
You know, I realized that, like, I did it wrong.
What?
Like, I held it weird in the beginning, and then I had to learn how to, like, the actual day where I had to, like, try to slingshot the Demogorgon, I was kind of like shooting it at the camera and everyone else around there. So I kind of had to teach myself, and like also like the Duffers were helping me out. They're like, "Oh, this is a good idea," and so I guess you get real training just with like more than one person.
It's hard to keep a straight face with, teen boys because they play pranks and they tell a lot of jokes, like when I'm doing an emotional scene.
She's talking about David, by the way.
Talking about who? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm professional, but overall, it was all right.
Woo! What's up, Comic-Con? Yeah!
We're not selling timeshares, David. We're just having.
Oh, I got a great one. You get a free clock radio if you just listen to my pitch.
One of the great things about season 1, at least for Chief Hopper, is that he does get to go on such a classic hero's journey, right? Like he starts out like such a jerk and such a loser and so horrible and you hate him. And then, no, it's true, and don't worry, I know how to play that. And then by around episode 4, you're like, this guy is super awesome, and if he dies, I'm suing Netflix. I feel the same way. I mean, no, right? Come on. Keep those emails coming, by the way, because no one in Hawkins, Indiana is safe. But I will say, so the journey was so satisfying to see him come to life. And I often say that, like, that breath that he takes after he revives Will, where I almost killed Noah Schnapp doing CPR, he sort of wakes up, right?
Yeah.
And so in season 2, it's like it's a year later, and you can't start where you can't do the same thing. You can't wake up again. So I think one of the really interesting, subtle things about the arc in season 2, which I can tell you, is that there is a psychology of a heroic action where someone does something heroic, and then whether or not they can live up to that in their daily life, or whether or not there are perils even of your own being a savior complex, and the sort of intricate psychology of like what that makes you as a human being and the pitfalls of that. So you're going to see a wildly different arc in season 2, but to me it's just as satisfying like where we get to in the end. And it all begins with leaving Egos for a character in the woods who he feels like might still be out there. And he's got some daughter issues of his own, as you're well aware. So, so I'll just leave it at that.
And then a question that got texted to me, will there be more Sheriff Hopper's shirtless scenes? That was
Yes!
Yeah, nobody needs to see it. That was the one hate mail we got from Netflix. It was like, please, the marshmallow body on David Harbour. Enough with that. David,
come
I think,
on, man.
hey, whoa, I'm sorry. Oh.
Stop body shaming
No,
yourself.
Will definitely, Hopper gets to do some very thrilling, sexy things in season 2.
Ooh.
So, enjoy, kids.
The wonderful Duffer Brothers and Sean Levy, they created an amazing script that provided each of us with characters. That's where it all begins,
Yeah.
And you take those words and you try to create a character and bring that person to life. It was a great pleasure.
I mean, yeah, a credit to these boys for giving us characters that are more than what they seem, that are complex, and that feel very real. And that's honestly, it's a gift, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's like on the paper, it seems very one-sided. Where I remember like reading the first episode, you read the character and it could just be some jerk. But I think, at the end of the day, you want to bring a real person, to this thing that is such a great group of people. The first person I am going to introduce is a new character named Billy, and it's played by Dacre Montgomery. Everybody. And next we have Max, a.k.a. Mad Max, played by the wonderful Sadie Sink.
And we have the newest addition to Hawkins' lab, Dr. Owens, played by Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm here.
Before we talk.
Would you guys be interested in seeing maybe a new trailer for season 2?
We're going to show that again before we're done here. We're watching that again, right?
Oh, my God.
Please. Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit about my character is the Duffers were very vocal with me about playing around with, as you see here, monsters, like as an antagonist, and they kind of wanted to play around with me as a human antagonist. So dropping a little bit of spice into a recipe that you all know and love is an honor, and I hope that I can be scary enough. Well, I won't give away too much else, but it's been a lot of fun.
Understandably, they're a little nervous about the guy who's coming in to replace this freaking guy who was no good. I always said it. I said it, by the way, in earlier films. I said, that guy's no good. So I basically come in from the government to clean up Brenner's mess. And
It's not a mess.
We'll see. Well, not a mess, but it was untidy. It was certainly untidy. And certain things happened.
Yes, I watched the first season. All my friends loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But not
No, I didn't like it. No, I'm just kidding. I loved it. So that's what made getting the audition really exciting for me, just knowing the show. And I knew Caleb and Gayton before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we were all on Broadway together.
You were on Broadway to get that. Oh my God.
Oh my God!
I love this.
It's so cute. It's cute.
I wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience. I wanted to open up the panel now.
Spotlight.
To
Look at the spotlight. That's awesome.
Oh my God!
I was wondering.
Wait,
Is Barb gonna be in season 2?
Guys, let's hear a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Purser, Barb from season 1. Barb, come here. Come up here. Shannon, come up here. I wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience. I wanted to open up the panel now.
Spotlight. Look at the spotlight. That's awesome.
Shannon.
Oh my God!
I was wondering.
Wait,
Is Barb gonna be in season 2?
Guys, let's hear a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Purser, Barb from season 1. Barb, come here. Come up here. Shannon, come up here. Oh my God.
I was wondering if Barb is gonna be in season 2.
Yeah, I can answer that. No.
Wow. Harsh.
Oh, but there will be justice for Barb.
Justice for Barb.
Barb will be avenged.
Another round of applause for the Duffer Brothers, Sean Levy, and the cast of Stranger Things 2. Thank you so much, Hall H. Have a great convention. We'll see you around. Thank you.